Yo! Alright, today I was going to, well, I was going to do a little play test, see how long it took to get from A to B, but right now I can't get the game to load. I'm not sure why. Well, it loads, but I get a little countdown of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then it just goes to 4 and nothing happens. I'm not sure why. I'm going to figure that out. And once I do, I will tell you exactly how to fix it if it ever happens to you. But yeah. So, today, instead of that, I'm actually going to add some more rocks in and fix this landscape material. I'm going to do the landscape material first, purely because it's a really quick fix. Well, I say a quick fix, I wouldn't mind redoing the entire thing. First of all, let's get rid of all the crap that we don't need by pressing this little skull button. So, what I need to do is, all these are the same at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just do this. Bring all my secondary texture sizes to all one place. Do this because it will be easier to manage later. Just get rid of all the crap that we don't want. I want to bring this size down a bit. I want to bring it to like a 6 or 5 will probably do the job. And I wouldn't mind bringing this up to a really bigger number so it doesn't look like it's all the same. With that said, I need to do the same over here. So what I'll do, to make it easier on me to grab all that, I'll just do that. Then grab all of these and dump them into there. Press that so I can get rid of all them. And again, do this. Then grab all those and put them into there. I'm going to leave this for now because I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I want to redo this as well. I want to bring this down a little bit. Well, not redo it, but I want to plug this into where? Into here. Purely because I thought this green was a bit too much. What this is going to do is break the green up a bit more. I might even put a multiply in to enhance the blacks. And do that. And maybe bring this number down a little bit more. And that should be good. Let's see exactly what this does. So this texture here is not as big. It's still quite big, but it's okay. Actually, I want to 1 minus this, I think. So a 1 minus is a part of math. It just inverts everything. It's exactly what it does. It will invert the black to white and white to black, and so on and so forth. So all that will do is from that material, it will actually turn the rock where the green was will turn to rock and whatnot. So that isn't too bad. I'm gonna boost that up a little bit. So put it back to 15. And there we go. It's not exactly what I want. It's a bit lighter than what I need at the moment, so it looks a bit better the other way, doesn't it? But yeah. Whoops, that's my desktop. Hello, desktop. So I'll tell you what we do that. 1 minus it, and let's have a look at that. See if that actually makes a difference. Yes, that's a lot better. We also need to sort out this blend, so we'll do that as well while we're here. So rock blend's fine, sand blend is fine. It is the mud I want to take the height blend off. Purely because I get that black specky stuff. Once I take the height blend off, that black specky stuff should go. Even though I could make an underlayer for it, but nah, I'm not really interested in that. Now you can see exactly what's going on here. This is the black specky crap I was on about. To get rid of that now, all I have to do is bring this down, find my mud layer, I said mud layer, and just fill in the gaps. And that's exactly what I have to do. Then my grass, I'll just do that. And it should blend in a lot better in the long run. Right, so I've been thinking about this part here. I don't particularly like it. What I'm going to do is take that off, and I am going to flatten this part out a bit more. Let's just get this. That would help. I still want this hill by here, and I want a hill over here. So yeah, that's going to be all good. And this cave is... I'm not really sure about this cave. I may take it out and do something else. But let's just flatten this out by here and just drop this down. Like that. I may put some Tiberium around here a bit. But yeah, that's all good. Sand, mud. That's not the right thing I want to be using. No, screw it, let's just paint it. So this part by here is actually full of trees. That's my plan for this part. Other than that, you're not going to be able to go up here. So yeah, I'm not really... don't really care too much about what's up here. But I wanted to make it look nice because there will be... hello. Yeah, there will be aircraft in this map. But I don't want them to go actually over this too much. So when it comes to it, I'm actually going to build a massive blocking volume around this, so aircraft can't go over it. So yeah, there's that, and let's get some grass in. I'm actually going to put the strength down quite a lot, and just yeah. This is basically what I'll be doing over here as well. It's just slightly doing this. Slightly putting grass down because if you have a look at the grass, well, a field of grass, you'll never ever see a massive patch of grass that's really green like this over here. And doing it like this will actually help to break up the tiling. And plus it's a forest, so it will be a forested area, so there won't be that much grass there. So yeah. So there's that done. So it's starting to look pretty cool. There's a few things I need to sort out. Oops, height. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do here. I was planning on having a way up in the middle, but I might not. I might even put a cave in over here, so I don't know yet. I need to work out exactly what I'm doing because I'm just doing all this on the fly. I don't really have a plan as such. So yeah, let's get some trees in. Fortunately for us, we have quite a lot of trees. Press all assets, static mesh, tree. We have 2D trees, which I'll be putting in the background over here. Well, not 2D, but they aren't actually trees as such. We have this sort of tree. We have some mini trees, but stuff I want to be putting in is stuff like this, ferns. And not really, maybe a pine. These definitely I'll be putting in. So, I might as well put a few of those in as well. So what I'm going to do is select all of the, well, I can't exactly select all of them. I'm going to hit this little icon here, which is the foliage tool, foliage brush tool. What I'm going to do is just dump, I think I can dump them all in. Yes, I can. Right. There's some things that I like to do off the bat with this sort of thing. Right. First of all, I have to tell you, foliage has collision. You can set collision. You can find it in the icon here. Collision. And you set all these to use collision. But, right, this is a big but. And I cannot lie. Right. It does not work for vehicles. No, it does not work for vehicles. It will work for everything but vehicles. So it will work for weapons, characters, particles, whatever, yeah. But it will not work for vehicles. Vehicles will just go straight through them. It's a real bad. I just don't understand why they would do that. But yeah, you just tick all these. But for now, we want to work with this. If you're like me and really can't be bothered to place every single tree outside of the map, yeah, you could do it the lazy way and paint like this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is quite a lot of trees, but we have. Well, first of all, I want to find out exactly what tree does what. There's a few here without any textures. That one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. Again, you use control to paint. That one's dead. Distance. So we'll be getting rid of that one. So to get rid of it, I just go like that. It'll get rid of it and all instances of it. That one's fine. I think everything else is fine from here. Alright, that one's fine. That one's fine. That one's fine. No, that one's not. That one's not. But as I said, I don't need a lot of trees. So in fact, I can probably get rid of a few of these anyway. That one's good. That one's good. And that one's good. Right, so now I've figured out that they're all good. I want to start messing with sizes and align to normal. So when it aligns to normal, it will actually align to the angles. So if I put it here, you can see this tree is almost 45 degrees. Right, now if I take off align to normal, they will always be upright. So yeah. So we're gonna keep that for all of them. Right. So we're gonna take off align to normal. We're gonna take off. We're gonna up the min scale to 2 and the max scale to 5. This will randomize between the scale 2 and 5. So we have that there. Let's have a scale. They're pretty good sizes. You can see they're different sizes. It's randomizing between them, which is awesome. Random pitch of 2. So they'll be leaning ever so slightly. Well, I said 2. So yeah, they'll be leaning ever so slightly. You can see this one here is leaning ever so slightly. So we've got that. Ground slope 45 degrees, that's fine. Min height and max height. Basically that there leads to how much, or what's the height of the limit. So if I find the height of this rock here, oops, and put the min height to that, right? Anything above that will get painted and anything below won't. If I put the max height to that, nothing above it will get painted. Yes. Landscape layer. Right, I'll be playing with this when I actually put in grass. You can set the landscape layer to the landscape layer. So in this case, if I was putting grass in, I could put, oops, grass 1. Yeah, because the landscape layer of the grass is called grass 1. And to prove how this works, I can paint over here. I actually am painting, see? It'll only paint to the grass layer, which is friggin' awesome because it makes so much less work for you. You will, with grass, you'll probably need to like feather the edges a little bit, but there's no real worry about that. Density. For these, they're trees, so the density is going to be quite small. I want to put each one to about 5, maybe, because I have a lot of different types of tree. I may even just stick with 4, because how many I got here is actually taking up the mickey a bit. But yeah, this is how you add foliage. This is the simplest way to add foliage. Tell you what, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And just keep all these. So these 5. Untick that. I can't paint anything now. Get rid of this grass one because I don't particularly need it at the moment. 5. I want to get rid of the align to normal. Min scale. Let's see how big this actually is. That's tiny. So yeah, I want to put this one to about 6 and this one to about 10. Okay, not 10, about 7. No, about 5 and 4. Yeah, there you go, that's good enough. Offset pitch, put the 4, min height and whatnot. Don't worry about that. So next, they're tiny, so align to normal, 5, min scale 3, and this one 5, 3, doesn't really matter. I've taken align to normal off. This, I know they're quite small, so let's put these to 5, align to normal, min scale of 2 and 4, 5, and that's about it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click this little square icon, just minimizes them, and now I'm just going to paint. You can notice that there's quite a lot of trees here. So what I'm going to do is bring down this brush paint density, and it's just going to bring the density down. You may notice that I can actually paint on static meshes. Right now I don't want to, so I'm going to untick static meshes, terrain, and BSPN, don't know, and just keep landscape. So now I can, it will just paint on the landscape, which is freaking awesome. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to paint on the bloody landscape. Okay, you may notice that I have a tree in the middle of a rock. It's because you can see the landscape underneath it, and it paints on the landscape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the select tool. I'm going to select this tree, just press delete because I don't need it. So let's just do a bit more painting. This is just filler. I'd usually do this right at the end of the map making stuff. Alright, so you can see what I did there. I can actually delete. With the erase, it depends on how much you actually have to how much it actually erases. That's used with Control and Shift. So if I put this up, I can take away a small amount. If I put it up a bit more, it'll take away less. If I put it down, it'll take off even more. So yeah, just bear that in mind. It's quite handy if you put too much down, like in here. and if it doesn't look right you can always select it and move it or delete it. I'm putting brush size down, so I just want to put another one there. It looks pretty good. Again, I'll be doing this all around the map. It's also a good way to do the Tiberium crystals, because what you may not know about this is there is a, let's go to the eye on all of these. There is this section here with the eye. This is information, more or less. We can put culling distances in. Culling is all about optimization, basically. A cull is, it unloads the asset at a distance, because you have LOD that loads different stages of assets, like low poly, mid poly, and high poly. You can see it on the rocks, where the rocks change. The trees have them as well, but a cull, we find this tree and start a cull, end of cull, I'll put to 1. I'll put to 100 for now. You can see they've disappeared, but if I come in closer, let's put it up to 1,000 actually, because it might be a bit easier to see. Okay, 5,000 because of the LODing. You can see it there with the branches popping in. It works a bit weirdly with stuff with LODs like trees, because it won't cull out stuff properly. So if I put 10,000 in, it's okay until you get back here, then it just looks like a stick. For this sort of stuff I'm not really worried, but I can control this by putting 10,000 in, and I'm going to put 9,000 in here, so it'll cull out automatically at 1,000. It'll start missing out the LODs. But again, I'm not really worried about that. It's only good for grass and small objects. Big objects like this, it's always in view. It can be a bit of a pain. I will put a cull on them, but I'll have to paint everything to find out exactly where or how far I can go with it without looking stupid. So let's just add in some Tiberium just to show you. So with this I'm just going to type in Tib, and we get Tiberium. Right. I will say this, there is a problem with Tiberium. We're not exactly sure why it happens, but Tiberium has to be loaded in a package that you know is loaded. It has to be in a package you know is loaded. So basically, when you put Tiberium in, you're going to have to copy the crystal and the material to your own package, and then re-reference the material to the static mesh. So to do that, we will copy this. So right click, create a copy. We'll send it to rx_custom tute mesh cluster 2. OK. Right, so we double click that then, and we go to our LOD 0 element 0 material. Find your material. Click on the spyglass icon. It will highlight it in your material editor, or in your content browser, sorry. Right click, create copy again. Find your package and material, Mine's actually called mats. Don't click on that, it may crash. Yeah, this thing here likes to crash its stuff. Click OK. So that goes to your mats. There's your static mesh, there's your mats. Close that, find your static mesh, double click it, find your material again, find your material in here, click on your material and just click that, or re-reference it. So then you just find your mesh, just stick it on there. And untick everything you don't want to paint and just paint. And just paint. Paint density. There you go, you can just about see them. Again, you mess with your min scales and your max scales, and this is where your culling distances come in handy. And once this actually tells me that I've gone over my shader limit, like that, we can deal with that. So I'm actually going to delete that for now because I didn't want any of that stuff there. I want to dump that back on. Gets rid of all of the instances. I want a min scale of 2 and say 6, just to take the mick. A random pitch, don't care about that. A Z offset, I actually want to put a 1, a -1 and a -3. What this does, it will set the mesh slightly under the landscape or whatever. This is for when you have angles. Sometimes it will like float. So you do that. I can show you exactly what that does. You can see there where it slightly goes underground. Again, I do that because it will slightly pop up otherwise. It's very handy for grass, but don't go too deep for grass. Only set it to like 0.5 or something like that. And this is aligned to normal, so everything will stay. So now I want to go to the eye and I want to put a culling distance. A good culling distance for these is usually about 30,000, depending on where you can see them from. So we come out over here. Okay, 30,000 is a bit much. 10,000. So yeah, and there you go. They'll pop in, but there's a cluster radius, right? Foliage works in clusters and how many things are in one cluster. A cluster is well, let me see about this. There you go. You can see a cluster popping in and a second cluster popping in. For this I would actually put about 50. Now you can see what happens, it will pop in individually and whatnot. And how many clusters are put to 1000. And now they'll pop in on distance. Probably put this down to about 25 actually, thinking about it. But yeah, that's how that works. And your start cloud, you don't really need to worry about that for this. Yeah, that's about it for that. And I'm actually going to have to call it now because I don't have a lot of time. I got to figure out what's going on with game start, because I really need to figure out what where I'm going to put the GDI base. I'm really thinking about moving the GDI base over here and having a wall, not a wall as such, but in a cave or something. I haven't really decided totally yet. Might put it up on a cliff. That'd be pretty fun actually. So yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. And again, once the lights are built, it'll look a lot better. And once we get some post-processing, it'll look even more better. But yeah, I shall catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Ta-da.